have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over... She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command? Promisingly.
Wait, the Elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
You've given me plenty to think about.
With Gaspard and Celine's armies entrenched, we cannot openly march troops to the...
My agents will ensure your soldiers get inside. But it must be a few at a time to avoid attention.
Understood. Just give the word.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies, or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellen. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Exactly what would be required to get that Imperial support?
I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
If they're siding with the enemy, I'll put an end to it.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage!
You there! It was a gift from the Comtesse Montbellier. She Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
Enjoy the pub.
Can Gaspar take the throne without the backing of the Council of Heralds? He plans to take Russia. If the Council... We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspar will ruin us all.
Where has that servant gone? Elves. Poor shadows.
Foreigners.
Interesting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
servant gone? Elves. Are all the droll things here?
Maker, I hope not.
Where has that servant gone? Elves.
Inquisitor, a moment. If I must warn you before you go inside. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
Don't they sound delightful? I'm shocked we haven't invited the court to
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be up. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
It might be a good idea. The bull in particular.
I'll have a few... Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
I heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition.
Seriously, did you get a look at the steps? I think they're gilded. I need to have this jacket let out a little.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A delish?
How could the Empress
No, that
afford
cannot
to
be.
renovate the palace without war?
Waste of time.
If nothing else.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor.
I wish there was more news coming from the Grand Cathedral.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Lavellen. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
This guy writes better fiction than I do.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, renowned author Tharic Tethras. Head of Noble House Tethras, Desher.
Cousin, my dear sister,
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have...
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter... Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of... We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are my people? Are they in good health?
I heard the Inquisition was here.
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks with other states?
You just know that will end badly.
Versailles. I don't take Versailles. I have to take
Lady Nightingale.
I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated. But the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
Lady Solange Lévesque, Marquise of Montveil, Ambassador to the court of Navarra, accompanied...
Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Are you
I
married?
had hoped to tour
Please,
the royal wing
Inquisitor,
gardens again.
did you need some?
I have
The
heard
sooner we
they are
track
the
down this
finest in the
infiltrator, the
Empire.
better.
Such a pity the wings.
Who do you think the Inquisition...
Gaspard's claim to the throne. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option. The headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Do you have any...
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area. There are a few here we can trust.
Have you noticed any...
Not yet. It would be easier if people... other people. Not you. I await your signal.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all. Is it true?
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor,
If I have to clean
please
up
allow
another
me to
puddle-
present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such...
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Of course, every word. Especially the parts where everyone was nude.
I knew it.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine...
Oh yes, as she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No. Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the paint?
I must wait for my...
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of
The dancing is so dull, your worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Jo.
Half Val Royeaux must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
Which power?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no... Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be... let us say...
Which power should...
Celine has held the throne Gaspard...
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Inquisitor.
Hello. Another time.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fight.
Good. I was... What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best... Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking... She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the...
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the Circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
I had no idea.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else. The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you seen anything useful?
I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do. The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, And the servants have been happy to refill my glass. And what?
Boring.
My lady!
May we have a word? It is... The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable. She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
Let me guess. All she wants in return is for me to help her defeat the Duke.
Oh, this is not meant as a bargain by any means, Inquisitor.
The support of the Empress is not conditional. It will...
The Empress is the most skilled diplomat in Thedas. Gaspard is hopelessly out of his depth.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this, Philippe. Running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant.
You got anything that needs killing? Because the nobles keep messing with me and they think I don't know they're doing it. This keeps up, I'm gonna wear somebody's skull as my fancy little mask.
Look at this with the eyes of a Ben Hasrath and tell me what you see.
It's a mess. Everyone's trying so hard to hide that they're walking around in plumage. Makes it tough to spot the dangerous lies, as opposed to the normal stuff. Oh, but that couple over there with the silver masks? The woman's doing one of the nobles, and the guy's doing two different servants.
What do you think of the masks the nobles are wearing?
They're no good as disguises, and they don't cover the mouth or hide body language, so they're not much help for lying. As fashion goes, I don't know. I've seen dumber.
Anything catching your eye?
They've got these candied nuts with some kind of spice on them. It's sweet until you swallow, and then... BAM! Hot! Also, Orlais has some fine-looking redheads. I go more for the servants personally. Less makeup. Nothing on the assassins, though. I'll just stay...
Inquisitor Lavellon, is there something... I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for...
Oh yes! This is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war even if, Maker forbid...
Good evening, Lady Martha.
Another time...
Inquisitor Llewellyn, don't head into the servants' wing if you value your neck. Not one elf's gone in there tonight and come out again.
Our man was supposed to make a pickup in the garden hours ago. Bastard's likely dead by now. Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child. He was raised a prince. What else should he do with his life, if not...
Have you noticed anything...
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me. It's war.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't carry them all.
Did you hear what Gaspar said to Duke?
Well, what's this?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom. Did I see you talking to Duke Cyril de Montfort?
The band is still waiting for their refreshments.
Interesting.
This is a private conversation. This is a private conversation.
Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
Orzammar favor in the negotiations.
Lord Marcelin.
Mr. Delancey, this
Hello?
without drinks.
It's been too long since I've had any words.
Did you just
Why you...
grab my bottom?
Look at Lady Cambien's slippers, trimmed with pearls. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose and you're concerned about...
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
I found this out.
Very interesting. A little more dirt like this. If you find more, let me know. This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the...
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
Have you seen it?
Oh yes. Halam Shiral is... But no sign of our Tevinter infiltrator.
Lady Inquisitor.
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well-versed in... But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later? It's doomed to fail. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in Libya.
Have you noticed anything odd?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame.
Good evening.
My third husband, Pierre, lost his life.
I heard the Inquisition was here.
You're too gullible.
Maximilian
Good. So many crimes. I'll keep watch.
I don't have an idea. Nobody should have made me.
Where has that servant gone? Elves.
If I have to clean up another pot...
Skyhold is a fortified castle, not a holiday resort.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Where has that servant gone?
I'll see if I can come home with your gallery shop.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will be with us.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom. That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
If you want something, say it.
I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering
recent events.
So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine...
I must return to her anon, but she is... It would be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit... I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and what intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The Ambassador does have eyes and ears. Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Ah, there's the Dowager. Don't make eye contact.
You wouldn't want to speak with a nobody like you anyway, cow.
My dear Maximilian, it took 4 chevaliers to hunt down the bear that killed a Lady Inquisitor.
Mistress Nightingale.
Ugh. So many crimes of fashion.
I found this is...
Prince...
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
Inquisitor.
The game, of course.
We are
Celine
always
has something up her
delighted.
sleeve.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
My investigations turned up something interesting. If the evening ends favorably for the
Her Imperial Majesty brings...
And she throws the best parties.
I'd like to know more about the negotiation.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future.
What is the Empress?
Peace is...
Gaspard and...
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to
Doesn't look like negotiations are going well.
Don't you worry.
Where are Alban and Colette?
Who cares? That Marquis in the hands. Is that the Inquisitor?
Do you think
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
We just got word. Another Danish Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all at their homes.
Inquisitor, enjoying the ball, I hope. Another time, perhaps.
This is a private conversation.
Did you see Gaspard dance?
he and Celine aren't getting anywhere?
would be worth checking out.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for.
Must be something here. Let's look around.
This was no servant. What was he...
Does this guy seem out of place?
That would appear to be Grand Duke Gaspard's insignia on the dagger.
Time to have a word with the...
Venatori agents!
The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
Elven? Odd to find it here.
I'll admit, I didn't think the Empress was this sentimental.
Fancy meeting you here. Inquisitor Llewellyn. Slumming in the servants' quarters with the rest of your people, for once. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
I'm glad to meet you, finally.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing... I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevin... Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too...
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
I would consider such an ally.
We can help each other, Inquisitor. We are both outside. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both.
Every single major player has tried to bribe you tonight. In Orlais, that means you've officially arrived. We'll hold the area.
Interesting.
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
I'm curious.
They say the army of the Inquisition fought a desperate stand at Haven against the forces of a North. As the battle raged, you faced down evil incarnate, spell against spell, and you cast down a mountain upon the archdemon and escaped.
Even if a tenth of that is true, Blitzer and...
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you...
Ready?
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world...
You're right. Thank you.
There must be something here.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
You should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Germain? His own uncle.
Interesting. Good to know.
I told you this is closed. Use the main doors.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous. Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does can win.
I hope you're enjoying yourself. The powerful have always been the same. Only the
Have you seen it?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live there. If you want to find...
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Lavalin. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon.
Is there something I can do for you?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both... Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well.
I'd be delighted. Have the Dalish gained a sudden passion for politics? What do you know about our civil war?
I assure you the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
I think I can agree.
Then you have lifted a terrible burden from my heart, Inquisitor. I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
If I've learned anything, Your Grace.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
I'd happily do more dancing, just not with Corypheus.
I promise not to...
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
The Grand Duchess tried to convince me Gaspard is the traitor.
Florian and her brother are thick as thieves, but she would give him up in an instant to save herself.
Then, the attack on the Emperor...
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I thought we were here to stop the...
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos, even with Celine alive. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
How should I support Briala? I assume she can't be Empress.
She can't. She can, however, be the power behind the throne, with Gaspard.
True. She could never control Celine, not with their history.
So Celine dies and Gaspard takes the throne. Briala would need a way to control...
What did Duchess Florian tell?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access, and in the meantime get...
At once.
The Grace's chamber has disappeared as usual.
Oh, sweet Gerard. Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again. You look radiant.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Inquisitor Lavalin, how many of the... You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I found an elven locket hidden among Celine's things.
Let me see that. She kept this. What was she thinking? If Gaspard had found this, it would have ruined her.
So, this did but...
It was my mother's. Carved from Vinadal wood. I gave it to Celine in happier time. She held on to it.
I had a question.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were...
I didn't take you for a gossip monger. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How...
Empress Celine and I have... There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war. She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge. That's how all Orlesians justify these things. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her son...
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive but with time and sufficient blackmail. He might work with us.
I'm surprised you didn't...
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here? An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
You might be interested in what I've found. It's about Gaspard. I found orders issued to his generals.
My people report his chevaliers. It's a foolish move if he doesn't succeed. Sneaking men in is easy. Getting them out unnoticed.
He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier.
You think Gaspard was behind the murder of that Council emissary and the Tevinter agents in the Servants' Wing?
Gaspard is ruthless. He wants the throne. If you intend to stop him, you'll need... Celine will never end the talks until she has no other choice.
I want to know more about the peace talks. You might be interested. It's about you, actually. You murdered negotiators and stole their
In Orlesian politics, Inquisitor. If that shocked you, wait until Celine should...
I found the drop point, Briala. I know your people are hidden...
Of course they are. I'd be a poor spy master if I didn't have spies, Inquisitor.
We'll speak...
Another time.
My friend, come. You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about you, in fact. There's a Council of Heralds emissary in the Servants' Court.
No. Who would try to pin such a crime on me? The elf? It seems unlike Celine. Of course I did. And while we rarely agree on it...
Want to tell me why you were threatened?
The language of politics, Inquisitor. Most of the Council are Celine's lapdogs. There was little chance I could win their support any other way.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about Celine.
Another time, friend.
Are all the Glances here?
Maker, I hope not.
I cannot believe you did not have...
Interesting. boring.
So, even Liliana thought this place was dangerous and you wanted to just walk in here. This party is looking up.
Hello? Is anyone there? Somebody. Anyone?
Thank you. Are you all right? No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have... Briala told you? Not personally. The ambassador... We get coded messages at certain locations, but... She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room. Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it. I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. So this room... It used to. This had been her private room, but this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family... The message didn't say. I should have known it was a... It takes great... It's not... I knew her. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Would you be willing to testify to that?
Absolutely. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cal...
Thank you.
What happened here?
You painted Orlesian assholes! When I get out of this, I'll butcher you like the pig you are!
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
I fear I'm a bit busy at the moment.
Yes, I see that. Such a pity. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
You're Orlesian royalty. Why would you help Corypheus attack your empire?
You think so small, Inquisitor. Why settle for an empire when Corypheus will remake the entire world? I admit, I will relish the look on Gaspar's face when he realizes I've outplayed him. He always was a sore loser.
What exactly is in this for you?
The world, of course. I'll deliver the entire south of Thedas, and Corypheus will save me. When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
Why kill...
Celine's death is a step... Corypheus will enter the Black City and claim the godhood waiting for him. We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a united world, guided by the hand of an attentive god.
You don't have to go through with this, Florian. There's still time to turn back.
Oh, my dear Inquisitor, you are so naive. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celine myself. All I need is to keep you out of... A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for years. Kill her. Bring me the marked hand as... It will make a fine gift for...
Just those tits. What were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted...
No more
I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard?
Well, his sister. But it had to come from... And all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the mastermind.
Your accent sounds Ferelden.
Move on the palace tonight. But he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Stinking punsy cheesemongers.
Want a new job? One that pays better?
You hiring? I'm game. Anything's better than this bullshit. You want me to talk to the Empress or the court or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Maker, you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
Wait here, Cullen. I'm going to have a word with the Grand Duchess.
What? There's no time. The Empress will begin her speech.
We owe the court one more show, Your Grace.
Inquisitor?
The eyes of every noble in the Empire are upon us, Your Grace. Remember to smile. This is your party. You wouldn't want them to think you had lost control.
Who would not be delighted to speak with you, Inquisitor?
I seem to recall you saying, all I needed was to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. When your archers failed to kill me in the garden, I feared you wouldn't save me this last dance. It's so easy to lose your good graces. You even framed your brother for the murder of a council emissary. It was an ambitious plan. Celine, Gaspard, the entire Council of Heralds, all your enemies under one roof.
This is very entertaining, but you do not imagine anyone believes your wild stories?
That will be a matter for a judge to decide.
Gaspard? You cannot believe this. You know I would never... Gaspard?
At least this time, justice will be swift. Your Imperial Majesty, I think we should speak in private, elsewhere.
Your sister attempted regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming...
You don't deny you're...
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did not.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing? Or that you're trying so hard to play innocent and failing?
Enough. We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire, I will have answers.
I wouldn't have caught Florian in time without Briala's help.
You were working together.
Of course.
Gaspard murdered a Council of Heralds emissary.
The Council will not overlook...
It would be a horrendous crime.
Keep talking, Gaspard. Eventually, you'll convince somebody.
There were also the threats Gaspard made to the Council of Heralds to bully them into giving him the crown.
Gaspard is a bully. Is that the worst you can say of me?
He also ordered his general to... Briala found all of this out for your...
In light of overwhelming evidence, we have no choice. You are hereby sentenced to death.
I think Ambassador Briala deserves some reward for uncovering all this.
For this service to the Empire, Briala, your previous treachery will...
You're too kind.
Thank you, Inquisitor. I owe you my life. You have done a service for the Empire never to be forgotten, my friend. This piece is your doing. You truly are the instrument of Andraste. Orlais will never forget your part in this, nor will I. Lords and ladies of the court, those who drove us into war for selfish gain have been dealt with as traitors. Gaspard de Chalon is guilty of treason. He is no longer our cousin and shall never again hold title or land in Orlais. We have lost enough. No! In our hour of need, the Inquisition has faced these dangers beside us. It is the honor of Orlais to stand with Andraste's herald and in ages to come, our children and grandchildren... Will you address the court, my friend?
Our enemy is clever. He manipulated the highest-ranking members of the court. If we want victory, we will have to fight him in more ways than one.
We of the court must use our resources. Not every... but that is tomorrow. Tonight, feast, my friend.
The Orlesian nobility make drunken toasts to your victory, and yet you are not present to hear them. Do you tire so quickly of their congratulations, Inquisitor? 'Tis most fickle, after all your efforts on their behalf.
Everyone suddenly wants to talk to me.
Then I have By Imperial decree, I have been named. Celine wishes to offer you any and all aid, including mine.
I had no idea you were interested in...
The assignment has been given to me. Celine knows you face an opponent who wields great magical power, which is far more important than her own curiosity. You will require my knowledge. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais and to myself.
What skills do...
I have knowledge which... I suspect this is also true of Corypheus. Thus, mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm...
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yeah? Should thought of that frighten you? Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal to make use of or ignore.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you.
Is everything all right? You look troubled.
Things went according to plan for...
Tonight was a trial. Is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? A drink?
Would you care to dance with me?
I
The map...
I am well aware of that.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter.
My Lady Inquisitor, please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist?
With the political turmoil put to rest,
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana...
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Why do you need...
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
Are the Grand Clerics truly unable to elect a divine?
Everyone with the political support to those who remain. Our late divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, the...
Leliana and Cassandra would have to...
And they certainly will. The Inquisitor has only just returned and has... You must excuse us. Don't let them detract from your victory at Alab. The support of the Empire Varric is eager to help his friend Hawke.
There are spirits hovering by the Veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations. After our time in Halam Sharau, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased.
Political gambits, broken promises, and motivation as we're great. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
Am I sensing concern over how we dealt?
No. I'm sorry. I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the
No. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admiral.
You're an admirable man. Not many people know who they are the way you do.
Thank you. Both for saying that and for... instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears. My friend. Cassandra and Varric seem more...
You've given...
I claim no secret wisdom, but I will... Some of his unique... What I cannot understand is how it... Indirectly, he will never abandon. His deception will I would be happy to share it with you. In the middle, once more. Goodbye.